Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Tech Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about how to use Google Cloud Platform with Zadara. We brought on Google as a partner at the end of last year. Very exciting. We're attending Google Next, the trade show, next week. So if you're there, please stop by our booth. And without further ado, we're going to have Howard talk about how we work with Google. If you have any questions throughout, please use the GoToWebinar control panel. You'll see a question section and simply just type your question there and I'll make sure it gets answered either right away or if not right away, definitely by the end of the session today. So Howard, please take it away.
Well, hello everyone, and today we're going to go over Google Cloud Platform. And last quarter, we were able to integrate Google Cloud Platform with the Zadara storage. And so what this does, and which is really exciting, is that you can connect your storage to anywhere in the Google region. So, for example, even though we have right now connectivity from Ashburn area, and you can connect from all regions in the world. So a little bit later down the line here, I'll go over how we can connect to from the West Coast and into the East Coast. So if you need like a common repository just to gather all your data from remote offices, this is a really fantastic way to do it. And it's very simple to bring or onboard the storage with your platform. So I know a lot of you haven't seen what the platform looks like. So let's look at some of the features. Now this is my account here, and over on the tab bar here, you can go through and go through all the type of operations. About 5 to 10 years ago, I can't remember when it was, Google first got into the cloud platform. Using App Engine, so you can run. At first, they had a scale-out Python engine, and they still have this capability. And what they did is they extended this platform into compute and container, and of course, networking is a big play with the Google Compute. Now, also they have storage, and then if you use AWS S3. This would be similar to what you would use in Google. Now, Google has its own interface, but they also have a compatibility mode with S3, and you just need to enable that, and then you can use it with for like our backup to S3. Now, there's one caveat with the backup to S3 of Google. What happens is they don't support the entire interface for the S3 interface, so you can't delete your snapshots. But if you can do this for like a long-term type of archive, it works just fine. So if you can do like a monthly backup forever, you don't have to, and you're not going to delete any of your snapshots. It'll work great. So on the compute engine, what you can do is you can create an instance. So if you want to create an instance, there's a lot of ways to do it, but you can select a zone, so you can spin up a compute instance anywhere in the world, from Asia, Europe, Central US, and also in the East. So this would be, I think Central is Iowa, East is going to be South Carolina, and the West is going to be Oregon. And the Oregon one's going to be pretty interesting once we have this connectivity between Oregon and our storage in that area. Will be very, very fast since it's right next door to it. And then once you spin up I keep saying a VPSA instance, what you want to do is you want to be able to set up your network and your network. What you want to do is you want to do a default network, but your external IP, the way Google presents the IP address to the VPSA or to our network is through the external IP. So you want to either select an ephemeral or you can do a static. So if you do a static, it's going to be consistent from turn on to turn on. If you use it in ephemeral, you're going to get a new IP. So keep that in mind that you want to use either a static or ephemeral, depending on if you want things to go away or not, or have like a static type of interface. The SSH keys, you would have to create your own SSH keys. The way it works with Amazon, you'd create something, download them. Here, it's a little bit different. So you'd create your own SSH key. You use something like PuTTY or PuTTYgen, and then you would upload your keys, and then you're good to go. What will happen is if you upload your keys here, a username will pop up, and so if all the syntax is correct, you should have your username for the particular instance here. Now the images, they don't offer too many things, but they do offer windows. So let's see what they have. They do have Debian, CentOS, and they have a Windows Server. So it's not quite as the number of or different types of images that they have in AWS, but it's more than adequate to get you started. So I already have a couple of them. I have a couple of Ubuntu's up and running here on my account, and I also have a Windows Server. And let me pop over to the Windows Server, and so this is the Windows Server. If you can see that, Christy, hopefully, because I switched screens.
Yep, all good, Howard.
Okay, perfect. So here I'm logged into my VPSA, and this is over the, it's a RDP, and it's into Google Cloud, and then so I'm doing it right here from Irvine into my this is going to be a West Coast VPSA, or actually EC2 or instance. I'm getting my AWS and Google, so I'm almost mixed up today. But this is on the West Coast here, and then to access your storage, you would have to set up a server record. So I have a couple of server records here. Because my Windows here is ephemeral, I'll have to change that again. But here, this is a static IP, and we can access that. And it's the same type of thing. You just create a server record to access your storage, and then the volume is going to be the same. You map the server record to a particular volume here, and then you're good to go. For the remote object store, it's pretty easy to set up. The IP is just going to be commonddatastorage.googleapis.com, and then you give it a container. So when you give it a container, you specify, you would create a new container in the storage section of the Google Cloud Compute, and then you would use this as the backup. Right now, you would have to go over the public IP for any type of connectivity. It's not routing currently through the front end unless you have a proxy, and I didn't set up a proxy. And this is the simplest way to do it. And then once with the keys itself, the access key and secret access key, these you would get from also the Google console. And then once it's set up, it should come up and connect correctly. And of course, here we have, this is a final product here down here. It says it's a Zios S3, and so you'd select this model here and parameters. You don't use a custom. We use a Zios. That's the closest interface you can use to connect to the Google storage for that type of object storage. Now, on my VPSA, the mount point is going to be the same, or same type of method, but let's connect here. So I just added my key to my agent manager, and I should be able to log in. Now this is on the West Coast. My VPSA is on the East Coast. So if I do a ping, see if I can find this should be my IP address. So from from the West Coast to the east, we're about a 60 millisecond type of ping. But the thing is, I can actually mount this particular volume or share on my instance here in Google. So here is the mount point. It's just the type is NFS. You give it the IP address of the VPSA. The export NFS you would get from your volume. So we'll go back over here to the volumes. So here's your export, and it's basically the same thing as you normally would do to mount in like AWS. And then if everything mounts here, you should come back with a prompt, and there should be a couple files here. And I was just doing a demo here of a snapshot, and it's not really a virus, but I was showing how to do other types of snapshots and mounting volumes that based on an older snapshot. So this is actually a really excellent way to migrate data into Google. So if you want to consolidate from remote offices, have a common storage within the cloud, it's easy to set it up because basically you just connect. Your whole onboarding is basically creating a server record, and then you're good to go. Now, when you create a VPSA in the public cloud, what you want to do is select the Google Cloud icon, and then what we'll do is you'll get a shared VLAN with between us and Google, and you set up the subnet and everything for your particular Google Cloud platform. Now, what you want to do is for security between Google and us, what you want to do is run IPsec. That's going to be the best way to do it because it's a shared VLAN. Eventually, Google is going with a multiple VLAN approach where you can have private VLANs per Google Cloud platform. That's not available yet, but from what I understand, it's coming out really soon. And then you'll have a complete package where everything's isolated at that. But if you deploy in Google today, you'd want to use IPsec to encrypt the data on the transfer. Now, Christy put together a couple links here, and Christy, do you want to cover these?
Sure.
There's a partner and a free trial.
Absolutely. So you can use these links, and I'll copy them into the chat so that you guys can access them easily. But essentially, this will be credits for you to try your storage at Google. So just you can click on these links again. I'm typing them in now, and follow the instructions on the page, and you can get started at Google for free and see if it works with your particular instances. So this is for the credits that I'm putting in now. And next is the trial.
Right. Now the trial, I think you get $300 of credit up to that lasts for 2 months.
I think it's up to 300. You're right.
Yeah, and it's only once you start your trial, it's only good for like 2 months. So you have 2 months to play around with the platform, see how it behaves, and make sure if you want to do this with a VPSA, go ahead and contact me, and we'll get you started. You can do both at the same time. So feel free to do that or contact us.
Perfect. Yeah. And again, we're going to be at Google next week, and we're at booth A13. So if anyone's there or knows anyone going, please encourage them, and feel free to stop by our booth. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is we do have a new page that talks about our storage at Google, and I'm going to send that to you guys in the chat here now. It'll just explain a little bit more about migrating your data um, via Google platform. And then I'm also sending a blog that Howard had written a couple months ago that talked about Zadara NAS in the Google Cloud platform. So it's a little bit of a technical dive on how that specifically works. We did have a question come in, Howard, so I'd like to have you weigh in on this. Someone's asking, can they move their data between the different cloud providers? I believe we can, but I just wanted you to touch on that a little more.
Yeah, one of our features is you can connect multiple public service providers or clouds to the same storage. So for example, if you have AWS with Direct Connects today, you can add the Google Direct peering also. So you can have basically compute on both, from Google and AWS. You can also add a third one through Azure, so you can have everyone connect to the same storage. Now, if you want to do, what we'll have to do, if you're a current customer and you already have an existing VLAN, we have to move you into the Google VLAN today, and then reconnect you through Direct Connect. So it's a minor maintenance period, but if you create a new account and you're established on Google first, then there won't be any issues.
Great. And with on-premise, or if you want to do like a hybrid configuration, you could use Google Cloud to do that, right?
You can do anything within the Google network. So they have a bunch of PO or POPs, or points of presence, that you can connect through from your site, your on-premise, into the cloud itself. So you
Okay,
can have like a hybrid type of thing.
great.
And you can do the same thing with AWS, but it would be like a VPN, and that's the same thing with the Google.
Okay, great. The last thing I want to mention is we will be putting out a white paper that describes in more detail how this all works. But the blog and the link to our page that I sent you are great starting points, and I'll be sure to get that out to you once it's finished. But we're really excited that we're a part of Google's cloud platform now, and I hope you guys all take advantage of that. If you have any questions about it, Howard's always available, howard@zadarastorage.com. You can reach out to me, Christy@zadarastorage.com, and I'd be happy to put you in touch with the right person on our technical side. And yeah, always check out our LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter. We're always adding updates about new partners and new features and that sort of thing. So we look forward to having you back next week. Thanks for joining us today, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.